Hey, what's up agents? It's me, Agent SD3 of SD3 Entertainment, bringing you all things anime, film, and geek. Today we're going to be talking about the fact that Into the Spider-Verse won a Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature of 2018 earlier this week, and just how important that is for the entertainment industry at large and what it actually means.
Become an agent and subscribe to SD3 Entertainment today.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was released on December 14th of last year, and let me just start by saying the movie was freaking phenomenal. The fact that they were able to take the story written by Dan Slott in 2014, The Spider-Verse, and convert it into a feature film is unprecedented. Even though it's an animated feature, it did a great job of translating story elements that 5 years ago may have been hard for a regular audience to really take in and absorb. The film has grossed over $275 million worldwide since its release.
It has a 97% critic score and a 94% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
While the movie is based on the premise of the Spider-Verse comic, it is not a one-to-one adaptation, which works out in the film's favor. The film focuses on the character of Miles Morales more so than any other Spider-Man or Spider character. This is the first on-screen, or rather big-screen, representation of the character since his creation in August of 2011. Much like the comics, Miles does have the opportunity to meet Peter Parker before becoming Spider-Man. I don't want to spoil anything about the film, but I will say that there are two versions of Peter Parker in this movie, and Miles learns from both, one more so than the other. The movie remained faithful to the spirit of the character of Spider-Man. The voice acting, the art direction, the story, the characters, everything about this movie just worked. It was a perfect web of interconnecting elements that made it so that this animated feature could even be nominated for a Golden Globe. I won't really be reviewing the movie in this video. I can do that if you guys would like. Just let me know in the comment section below and I'll make some kind of review and I'll talk about the movie in more detail. But I will just say, please go out and see this movie, support it, and just enjoy yourselves. It is a phenomenal ride. Now, I'm not really one to talk about how great awards and Oscars and accolades are for films. Even as a filmmaker, I just don't really support that mindset that is what defines a movie. But I will say that what makes this so monumental is the fact that superhero movies rarely get this kind of recognition. Into the Spider-Verse's win isn't the only triumph for comic book movies that occurred at the Golden Globes. Black Panther was nominated for Best Drama, and there have been rumblings of a possible Oscar nomination later this month. Dating back to the 1940s, only about 30 superhero movies, and some of which are debatable about whether they count, such as Mask of Zorro, have been nominated or won Oscars. Normally, these movies are nominated for the categories of visual effects, makeup, or score, rarely for more substantive categories, such as Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Lead Actor, or Best Film in a category. Over the years, some of the superhero movies that have been nominated for various Oscar awards have been the first Spider-Man movie in 2002, which was nominated for Best Sound and Best Visual Effects. Spider-Man 2 in 2004 have been nominated for Best Achievement in Sound Mixing and Best Achievement in Sound Editing, and it won Best Achievement in Visual Effects that year. The Incredibles in 2004 have been nominated for Best Writing or Original Screenplay, Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, but it also won Best Animated Feature Film of the Year, and it also won Best Achievement in Sound Editing. The superhero movie with the most nominations and wins is The Dark Knight, which was released in 2008. It won Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in Heath Ledger's Joker, and it won Best Achievement in Sound Editing. It was nominated Best Achievement in Cinematography, Best Achievement in Film Editing, Best Achievement in Art Direction, Best Achievement in Makeup, Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, and Best Achievement in Visual Effects. Generally speaking, superhero movies are nominated for more technical awards rather than awards based on acting, writing, directing, or the overall picture itself. The Dark Knight is a clear exception, an outlier to this general treatment of the superhero movie, perhaps because it is the most grounded of any superhero movie to date, at least in my opinion. You guys can debate that in the comment section below and we can kind of talk about that a little bit more, but in my opinion it is perhaps the most grounded, if not the most grounded, superhero movie to date. In 2016, Deadpool was the first to be nominated Best Picture in any category, in this case, comedy or musical. Interestingly enough, it was beaten out by La La Land. That nomination, along with Into the Spider-Verse's win earlier this week, sets the stage for another shift in the status quo come this year's Oscars. The rumor mill has been churning for quite some time regarding Black Panther's potential nomination for an Oscar. It grossed over $1.3 billion. It features a primarily black cast and crew. It showcases a futuristic African nation that is the most powerful and prosperous on Earth. But not only did we have Black Panther come out in 2018, we also had Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Aquaman. All major blockbusters that have seen a great deal of success, two of which have grossed over $1 billion. Perhaps by the time this video is released, Aquaman will have done the same. Interestingly enough, the Oscars have announced a new category this year, the Outstanding Popular Film, which has been met by a great deal of criticism and pushback, which will be something to keep an eye on this year at the Oscars. I believe that with the epic releases coming to theaters later this year, this trend of the mainstream entering a highbrow space will continue. As a filmmaker and a fan, I would love to see more movies like Infinity War and Aquaman gain the recognition they deserve. There is much more depth to the superhero genre than folks are willing to admit. Comics started out as a popular medium and tend to be associated with the lowbrow, despite their mass cultural impact. Now that they are being translated onto the big screen, artists and the people that critique them must contend with their growing commercial success. I want to end off this discussion with a quote from Andy Serkis, the actor who has played characters such as Gollum, Ulysses Claw, and Snoke. Blockbuster films have performances that take a lot of skill. You have to be an athlete, a comedian, skillful, technically minded, and you have to bring a character to life that's believable in a fantastical world. It's not sitting at the kitchen table moping about life. What's interesting to me about that quote from Andy Serkis is that it's no accident that the hero myth has been around ever since humans could tell stories. What makes these epic stories stand the test of time is the fact that people can relate to them. It is the ordinary made fantastical. They embody the challenges and triumphs of the human experience, revealing the peculiar nature of this thing we call being human. Well, agents, let me know what blockbuster movies from 2018 you think deserve a 2018 Oscar nomination in the comment section below. Thank you for tuning in this week. Hit that subscribe button and make sure to ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all things anime, gaming, film, and geek. I'll see you guys in the next one. Agent SD3 out.